Hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be using all three of the brand new Hourglass palettes. If you're curious to see how they all look once applied and hear my thoughts on these brand new Hourglass palettes, keep watching. Today we're going to be unboxing and playing with all three of the brand new Hourglass Ambient palettes. I picked up all three. I cannot wait to use all of them. I am really excited. I almost didn't even purchase these, you guys. Hourglass is notorious for repeat shades. Every single year they come out with these beautiful palettes, and it's the same shades over and over again. It's just new packaging. So I was like, I'm done. I'm done with Hourglass. I'm not doing it anymore. No. And then every single one of these new palettes has 5 new shades. So that means if I got all three, that's 15 new Hourglass shades. I went ahead and picked up all three, so I will go ahead and use all three palettes and see how they look on my skin. Now, I am 46. I have combination to oily skin, and I would say light to medium skin tone, and I do lean cool. So that's a little bit background on my skin, and we'll see how each one of these palettes looks. Now, I thought I would go ahead and just do pretty much a full face of Hourglass. It has been a minute or two since I have done a full face of Hourglass. Most of the products are going to be Hourglass. I do not have an Hourglass foundation, and I also don't have an Hourglass mascara. So those two I'll just incorporate in other brands. But for the most part, everything I'll be using today is Hourglass. So I'm going to start with primer. I have the Vanish Airbrush Primer. Now my pump is broken. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong with it, so I'm just going to take a little bit and pour it out into my hand. I have no idea what I did to the pump, but it's broken. So I just have to use it without the pump, which is not my preferred method, but it is such a good primer that it's worth taking those few extra steps to use it. Now for foundation, since I don't have an Hourglass foundation, I'm going to be going in with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is a beautiful natural finish foundation, which I thought would look good over this more mattifying primer. And I know you guys are going to ask me what shade. This is shade M 1.5 Valeris. So I'll just go ahead and apply this with my BK Beauty 101. I have tried a few different Hourglass foundations, and I just haven't found one that I just really like. The shades I find lean really yellow, and so I think it's less about the formula and more about the shade. I just can't find a shade that works for me. Now I haven't tried the skin tint yet, and I am very curious about that. I think that one might work. It's a little bit thinner, and I feel like it's a little bit more forgiving, and like one shade will encompass multiple different skin tones. Now I'm going to use 2 of the palettes today, and then I have already used one of those, and I will insert that video at the appropriate time. But I didn't want to have to do separate videos. I wanted to be able to show you guys all 3 of the palettes in one video. That primer and foundation looks so beautiful together. My skin honestly looks flawless right now. So that combination, highly impressed with. Now I'm going to go in with concealer. Now for concealer, I have the Vanish Airbrush Concealer, and I have shade Cedar, which I don't necessarily think is that great of a match for me. It definitely looks a little bit too light. The Hourglass concealer is so full coverage. If you need a full coverage concealer, the Hourglass concealer is so incredibly full coverage. But you can see, look at that. Even though it's very light, it blended right down into my skin, and I think it looks really pretty. So maybe the shade is a good shade for me. Now when I purchased this, I just purchased the little mini size at Sephora. I have so many concealers and I'm always trying new ones. I was happy to see that they actually sold a mini size. For powder today, I'll be using the Hourglass Translucent Loose Powder. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and open up all 3 of these new Hourglass palettes. I really did choose the wrong shirt to film today's video. My sleeve is just like automatically tight. So when I try and roll it up, I don't want to stretch it out. So that was not a smart move on my part. So I'm just going to start with the first one that I grabbed, and this is the Evil Eye. I am going to go ahead and put on my glasses so that I can read all of the different shade names for you guys. Now when you get the palettes, they do have this protective film on the top of them. So here is Evil Eye, and up here right in this corner is the finishing powder in Soft Light, and then we have a highlighter in Rose Gold Strobe Light. The blush is Pink Fusion. Down here is a blush Oasis Glow, a blush in Vibrant Coral, and a bronzer in Natural Bronze. I feel like those shades are existing shades. You guys, I'm gonna have to check on that. I really, some of those names definitely sound like existing shades. Oh goodness, but we'll go ahead and start, and I'll start with this finishing powder. So there's Soft Light. This is a highlighter, Rose Gold Strobe Light. That is very pretty. Blush, Pink Fusion, Oasis Glow, Vibrant Coral. The bronzer is Natural Bronze. So that is what the Evil Eye palette looks like. And because of my sleeves, I am just going to have to wipe that off in order to do the next one. That was not very smart of me. I will try and do some swatches on my arm with all of them side by side and take a photo of it and post it, because that was really poor planning on my part. Next one that I'm going to be unboxing is the Dragon palette. So this definitely looks like the lightest of the three palettes. I think it looks really pretty. This is the finishing powder in Dream Light, the blush in Peach Fusion, the finishing powder in Divine Light, the blush in Mauve Haze, the bronzer in Soft Bronze, and the highlighter in Sunlit Strobe Light. So this is the finishing powder in Dream Light, the blush in Pink Fusion, the finishing powder in Divine Light, the blush in Mauve Haze, Soft Bronze, and Sunlit Strobe Light. So that is the Dragon palette, which is the lightest of the three palettes. And then the last one is the Lotus Flower, and this is the deepest one. Now, these shades are definitely dark. I wore this palette the other day. So we're going to start up here with this highlighter. This is the Gilded Strobe Light, a blush in Desert Flush, a finishing powder, Eternal Light, a highlighter in Radiant Rose Strobe Light, blush is in shade Red, and the bronzer is Bronze Heat. We'll start with that highlighter in Gilded Strobe Light, the blush in Desert Flush, a finishing powder in Eternal Light, a highlighter in Radiant Rose Strobe Light, blush, this is red, it is definitely red, Bronze Heat. Now this is definitely a deep palette, and I am happy to see that Hourglass has expanded their shade range and gotten in some deeper shades, but it is definitely deep. So we'll go ahead and start with the Dragon palette, and I'm going to take the bronzer shade in Soft Bronze. I think it is very pretty. I think if you have a deeper skin tone than me, this one may not show up on you because it is pretty light on me. I can see it, but it is light. That said, I do think that it is very pretty. I think that the Hourglass powder products are absolutely some of the best. They honestly blur your skin like nothing else. They are so beautiful. I'm going to take the blush. I'm going to go into that peach shade, and this is Peach Fusion. I think that it just looks so pretty. I think the mauve looks pretty too. I just not certain the mauve would show up as well as this peach will. I think if this palette is giving a very much light makeup, no makeup look. I can definitely see the blush, but it's not very bright. It's very, very light, very, very natural, extremely, extremely beautiful. There is only one highlight, and it's that Sunlit Strobe. I think that that just looks absolutely flawless. My skin just looks beautiful, truthfully. If you want a no makeup look and you're my skin tone, this Dragon palette is definitely the one you want. That is gorgeous, gorgeous. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to use the Evil Eye palette. So I'll go into that bronze shade, and this is Natural Bronze. So this one is a little bit deeper, so you should be able to see this one just a little bit more. And you definitely can. And because my brush is so much bigger, I feel like I kind of got some of that blush in there, which is fine. I love a little blush mixed into my bronzer. You will not hear me complain about that. This shade is definitely a little bit deeper, and I think probably more suited for my skin tone. For the blush, I'm going to go into this one right up here. This is Pink Fusion. Wow. I was not expecting that pickup. Let's see how pigmented it is on the cheek. That is definitely more pigmented than that Dragon palette. And now I'll go into that highlight. This is the Rose Gold Strobe Light. I think it's beautiful too. Wow. Let me know which side do you guys like. Do you like the lighter side or a little bit of a deeper side? I really, really think that they are both absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I think I could mix these two palettes together and they would be the perfect palette for me. I am so excited that Hourglass has come out with some new shades. I just think that these are beautiful. I am going to go ahead now and insert the clip of me using the deeper palette, the Lotus Flower. Now, this one is definitely a lot deeper. Now, I did go in extremely light-handed, and it was still pretty deep. I don't think that this is probably going to be a palette that I reach for. I think that I was able to ultimately wear it, and I did. I wore it to work, and it worked. You know, I was able to make it work. However, I do think that it is just a little bit too deep for my skin tone. Let me know down below, what do you guys think? Which of the three palettes is your favorite? I would love to hear. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this full face of Hourglass using some Hourglass eye products. I do have a few of the Hourglass singles. I also have 3 of the Hourglass eye sticks. I like crayons. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. This is the Veil Eye Primer. So this is a nice eye primer. I don't reach for it that often because I think that this eye primer is more geared towards those with oily eyelids. I don't have that problem. The reason I use an eye primer is to give my eyes a blank canvas because my eyelids are very red. So I like to conceal that redness. And this eye primer doesn't do a great job with that. I mean, it definitely took away some of that redness. I just prefer something with a little bit more color, which is the reason I don't reach for it that often. But if that is not your problem, and your problem is oily eyelids, or you're wanting your eyeshadow to last longer, this is a very good one. Now that said, they do have different shades of this eye primer, and I have never tried those. I've only tried just the regular Veil one. I take a BK Beauty 201. I'm going to go into this matte shade right here, and I'm going to use that all over my eye as kind of like a base shade. The Hourglass single shadows are very pretty. I really do like them. Go ahead and take the eyeshadow stick. This is in shade Prism, and I'm going to take this on the outer corner into the crease. Now I will blend this with a brush, and this is a Sonuji Crease Pro. I'm going to take that same brush, and I'm just going to go into this dark brown, and we'll take this on the outer corner. I have used these eyeshadows in other videos and reviewed them before, so I'm just kind of speeding through this part of it. And then I have this shimmer right here. Now, I don't know what these shade names are. They are on the back of each of the shadows, but because these are reusable and refillable and you can use them with different shadows, I don't know what the names are without popping out each one of the little compartments. Just going to go back in with that BK Beauty 201 to just blend. I just think that it is beautiful. That is such an easy eye look to create. Nothing fancy about it, but I think it just looks beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes. I have the Hourglass gel eyeliners. These are hands down one of my absolute favorite eyeliners. They are so good. For mascara, like I mentioned, I don't have an Hourglass mascara, so I'm going to be using my Dior primer as well as this Queen Musia mascara. There is the finished eye look, and now to finish off this full face of Hourglass, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this look with the Hourglass lip liner and an Hourglass lipstick. So the lip liner that I have is in shade Tempt, and it's shade number 3. And this is shade Tide. I am going to go in with the finishing powder. So I'm going to use the deeper of the finishing powders. And just put that all over. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. That completes today's video using all 3 of the brand new Hourglass palettes. I would love to hear what you guys think. Which one did you like best? If I had to choose my favorite, I would choose the Evil Eye palette. I just think that these shades work best for my skin tone, but I do also think that that Dragon palette was beautiful, and I think mixing those 2 palettes together is going to be absolutely gorgeous. The Lotus Flower palette was beautiful. It was wearable, although I do think it was a little bit too deep for my skin tone. But I would love to hear your thoughts on these brand new Hourglass palettes. I am so excited to see that Hourglass has finally listened and came out with new shades, especially because I love the Hourglass formula. I mean, my face seriously looks flawless. And it is because of the Hourglass products and the powder. I don't know what Hourglass uses in their powder products, but I am telling you, it makes your skin just look absolutely flawless. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you are new here and you have not already subscribed, I do encourage you to subscribe and join our luxury beauty community. It is free to join, and it does really help my channel and help with the YouTube algorithm. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video.